English, Russian, English cast, I guess that's what you call it. What? What do English people speak?
English.
Are you sure?
Oh, hang on. Yo, I have an important phone call.
Yeah, I can hear.
Give me a sec.
You're shooting me again.
Jeff Dawkins just got a phone call from his doctor. It's like, what? Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're live now, so welcome to the Ukrgame Rage Cup match between Bellies and High Skill. We've got two top teams going head-to-head, and we're actually bringing you cast in like 5 different languages. I don't even know. Dawkins is on the phone with his doctor, and yeah, so it's just me right now. I'm Rorek. My partner in crime tonight is Dawkins, and he will be back momentarily. Looks like both teams are finally getting into the server. All Beer Bellies is here, and we're just waiting on one person from High Skill. You'll have to excuse me. I don't know anything about either of these teams. Both teams did participate in the frag fight. I believe High Skill lost to Businessmen, who were second place, lost to Router Pixie. And then Beer Bellies came in 4th, from what I hear. High Skill came in 3rd. So this should be a very good match between these two teams. We don't have War Room, so unfortunately during tanks we're just going to have to stay here. And like I said, this match is simulcasted in French and Russian. So if you decide you'd like to watch the match in French, switch over to the French live stream on Left 4 Dead 2 TV.net. Or the Russian live stream is like Rage TV. Rage TV. I've never seen Rage TV, maybe because I don't speak Russian, so I never watch Russian casts. This cast will also be subtitled in Spanish in case you speak Spanish or want to learn Spanish. So watch the bottom of your screen for subtitles. It's going to be awesome. And it looks like High Skill's 4th is rebooting their server. From what I hear about High Skill, they just lost someone important to their roster. They've got a little bit different roster change, a roster lineup for this match. So whether or not that's going to be a detriment to their play, I don't know. Honestly, I've only watched them play once before. I do know they're a very High Skill team. So we'll see what kind of gameplay this new 4th brings to them. Still waiting on Dawkins to come back. He got a call from his doctor. Oh wait, is that him?
I'm back. Hi.
Thank you. You're back. How is the STD report?
STD, it's not looking good.
Sorry.
What do you have?
Not looking good for me. Don't worry about it.
Isn't that something I need to know about? Considering?
I'll let you know in private. I don't want my whole reputation to be ruined.
Herpagonosyphilis?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Something along those lines. Anyway.
Well, it looks like both teams are reading up. Dawkins, we were just kind of introduced to both teams. Let's do a little roster rundown before we get started. We've got Beer Bellies starting off as the survivors and High School as the infected. For Beer Bellies right now we have Amstaff, Refuse, Lennon, and Q Motion. And for High Skill, who's wearing a really weird tag. What's that tag mean? F457?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. But for their roster right now, they have Hannibal, some kind of leet speak, Nat, Nagabator. I guess Nagabator. And then the last person is again another Leap Speak. I don't know. I'm gonna have to call him 04 and Nag and Hannibal because there's no way I can even try to pronunciate that throughout the rest of this cast. We're still waiting for the fourth to load up. He had to restart. Who do you think's gonna win, Dawkins? Projections? I mean, predictions? What do you got?
I've like zero knowledge about either team, so I really have no idea. Yeah, I really don't know any people in the Euro community, very few, and I have no knowledge about, you know, what teams are better than other teams and whatever, all that stuff in the Euro community, so I really have no idea. I'm gonna say, Beer Belly, because they were in the server and ready first. It's the only reason.
Yeah, I was going to say that silence for me is me wondering what's up with that prediction.
Oh, good. Now we can...
Alright, we got Boomer, Jockey, Smoker. And right now, Boomer's going to get that nice bombing from across the bus. The Jockey's going to come in from behind. Charger's coming in from... He's going to try to ghost through all those trees. He's getting a little bit of chip. Here he comes for the final charge. He's going to get cleared by a massive amount of Uzis, and then everybody's going to get and push forward. Not any damage going off there. 4 damage from that Jockey, I think, got a scratch.
Yeah, that's pretty standard, I'd say. It's kind of hard to get a good hit in that area. Pretty easy for survivors to just back up and shut it down with Uzis, which is exactly what they did.
We've got our next hit setting up for the bridge choke. We've got a Boomer, Hunter, Smoker, and what's that last one? Jock setting up for this attack.
No Charger, it's never good.
No Charger, no Spitter, but good separation. So we'll see something come out of this if that Boomer can land, I think. It looks like that Boomer is going to either rocket off the back there or just drop off the front as soon as the survivors push out. Survivor's taking it slow, trying to clear out as the spawns come up. Here comes the Boomer off the top. He's going to land on 3. Jockey's going to land his pounce. Hunter's going to land his pounce. Smoker didn't get a spawn?
He got cleared. He tried to pull Nick, and Nick cleared him.
I have someone who needs respect.
There's a tank up in the hands of Demas, and we don't have either war room. So we'll talk it through.
Yeah, we don't have any war rooms, but again, this cast is casted in French and Russian. Maybe they have a war room, but our cast will be subtitled in Spanish, so again, look at the bottom of your screen, and look out for that in case you speak Spanish. That tank's going to push right in with that car. It's a nice hit. He gets it in without taking very much hit. He's already at 50% health. All 4 of those who's focus firing, and I don't think they have that HR. In fact, I don't know they do. It's on deck. Here comes that boom. That boom is going to miss. He's going to get dead. Hunter's going... He lands his pounce. Charger's going to get a punch and then miss his charge. He's going to get a few more punches on Nick, but finally get clear. But that tank is pretty much done.
Yeah, the tank, just getting finished up now. He kind of... I never like relying on that car very much for that tank. That's what he did. He hit the car close and kind of tunneled it until he was at like 50 HP, 50% HP. And then that's when the sport came in. The Boomer missed, and the Charger Hunter went for the same person and got cleared easily, but I'm pretty sure that tank didn't get any punches. And, I don't know, I think you just need to... The thing you need to do with that tank is, like, push him back towards the back end of the bridge and just get the support in from behind, but he tried to focus the car and get a lucky hittable. It didn't really work out.
He got He got a good play in on the car. He didn't take very much chip at all, but I think that support came in a little bit too late, too, for that car hit, and he was tunneling all that, because he was at 50% health with the car not even in a good position to hit on the survivors before the rest of the infection actually came in. So.
Yeah. He hit the car over the fence, and it was, like, ready to go in, and then he had trouble getting it up the hill onto the bridge, and that's where he took most of his damage, and then, yeah, he was at about 50% when the support came in, but it couldn't really help him at all.
This pause is, it looks like one person dropped out just a few seconds ago. Beer Bellies paused it because one of their members had to BRB, and then one high skills player dropped, so we're just waiting for him to get back into the server. But all 4 survivors over 75% health, all green, all pills, right after that tank. And this is an easy tank to take as long as you don't catch that fire, as long as you don't catch all that SIs from coming in from the back. But because the tank didn't push them back there, it's pretty easy clears up the board.
It sounds like your mic, like, progressively gets farther away from your mouth.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good right there. The longer you talk, the worse it sounds.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on.
Survivor's pushing forward real quick, trying to get through before spawns come up. The Charger, Smoker, Jockey are set up. Here comes the spawn. Jockey's up. He's going to get a little bit of chip. That Boomer's up now. Boomer's going to come in and get a boom on the back to Survivor. And it looks like our attack's going to come in. Charger's going to come in from the he's going to land. The Smoker's going to come in a little bit too late. He's going to get clear. And another pause coming in from...
Looks like high skill this time. Handful now crashing or leaving, whichever. But it looks like, I think it's because they're ping. If you notice, all of Beer Belly's ping is green. And all of high skills is green or red, I guess. But can't really expect good things to change.
Well, he might just be like it might just be crashing or something. Because sometimes when people crash, their ping spikes, and you notice the guy who crashed, his ping is way higher than everyone else's. I mean, it wasn't that high when it at like the start of the game and stuff.
There's so many specs in this game right now. Like, I can't even tell everyone to respec, though. Do they even speak English?
Maybe they understand respect. That might be a word that understands.
It's universal.
Yeah. I really have no idea.
Not much damage going out to Beer Bellies here. They're already past the tank if you're just joining in.
And they're already dropping down after the hooks held to it. And all spawns are down. All spawns at least 15 seconds apart. So they're going to have an easy drop if they take this hill.
Yeah, I don't know, it's always hard to get damage with that tank, but they gotta make up for it a little bit with some attacks here, or else their health bonus is gonna be really high. It's at 692 right now, so that's over a 1k score if they make it with that.
And Hannibal's rejoining, so hopefully we'll get this back underway here any second. And they are unpausing, so we're going to get this underway right now.
We do 2 people boomed, so the horde's moving in a little bit, but it looks like they're just gonna take this drop, which is really smart response down. It's a major choke that they're not gonna be able to hit on.
And all that horde is behind, there's literally nothing up here, finally spawning in up here. There's only a few coming ahead of them, but everything else is coming in from behind.
It's pretty much just gonna come down to this last attack. Looks like they're choosing to hit on the hill, which is pretty smart. But, yeah, this is pretty much their last chance to get decent damage in. If
and
they
hopefully
blow
get
this
that
attack,
long charge.
yeah, if they blow this attack, they can pretty much walk to the safe room without another hit.
They do have Smoker, Jockey, Charger, and Boomer set up for this. No spitter for that charge in case he misses, but hopefully we can see a nice pull in and intercept by that Charger down the hill. And here comes the spawn for the Smoker. The Smoker's going to try to pull Rochelle forward. He's going to miss that. Boomer tries to rocket in. He gets popped. Everything's going to get focus fire. That Charger gets focus fire by all the Uzis. Smoker gets a pull for a few seconds, but he's going to get cleared, and that's just going to be an easy walk into the safe room.
Yeah, all the spawns came in from the front, and the survivors just backed up and shot them with their Uzis. There's not really much you could do when you're trying to send those spawns in from the front like that. Pretty much, I've been a lot of the hits. Beer Bellies just back up and focus with Uzis, which is smart. And you gotta send some spawns from behind, or else they're not gonna land.
Only a collective total of maybe 80 damage going out all day. Maybe 80 damage from high school. So we'll see how they play Survivor side, and we'll see what Beer Bellies can do with their first setup. We have the same setup as every map one. Charger, Jockey, Smoker, and Boomer. So we'll see if they decide to waste it early like High Skill did off that mirror spawn on the bus, or if they decide to wait a little bit and kind of draw out the survivors into the cars. Both teams played in frag pipe, but I heard they played each other. I looked at the frag pipe matches and didn't see that they played each other. I know that both teams played businessmen. High Skill lost, and I think Beer Bellies lost as well. But obviously, I think businessmen went to the finals to play Rider Pixies. So I think Beer Bellies lost by a less margin now. If there's anything about the difference in skill, I have no idea. Just really waiting on High Skill to ready up. Again, roster rundown for High Skill: Hannibal, 04, Nag, and DMOS. That's what I'm going to nickname them for this match, at least the 04 and Nag, because the names are leets people list.
Sorry. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, it sounds like you have a muffle.
Well,
there you go. Now
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my mic. It's not even messed up once. Yeah, I tried replugging it in the first time you mentioned it. I'm having microphone troubles, obviously, but I tried to fix it.
It's fine sometimes, but then sometimes it'll just go like, yeah, and then
exactly like that too.
I wish I could hear my impression. I'm not sure, but it sounds like I can't understand what you're saying. It sounds like you zipped your mouth shut. You're wearing a muzzle. But anyway, what Rorek said is was a roster. Okay, Jeff, roster rundown of. I don't remember what their team's called.
Whispering Oaks. Oh, good. Now we can die.
Anyway, survivors are moving up. Same hit as the other team had. As Beer Belly is setting up here. They put the boomer on the car. Get two booms. Smoker's gonna try and pull forward. Tongue gets broken. Jockey's coming in. Gonna get a scratch maybe. Nope. Smoker landing the pull forward on Rochelle. Charger coming in, landing a charge on Rochelle. No damage though from the Charger because she had God frames from the pull.
God frames. He tried to intercept there on the non-boom survivor Ellis, but just barely missed and had to settle for Rochelle and try to get 1 pounded. 12 damage going off instead of 4, so they're starting off 7 damage up on after that first attack.
Total outplayed. GG.
That Charger did die last. Boomer's going to go in early. Another attack going to come in before the bridge. Boomer lands on one. That Hunter spawned up, and he's not going to go in waiting for
the Charger.
Yeah, I think they're just going to go ahead and wait for this spitter to come up as long as the survivors don't push.
Reloading.
All spawns are coming up on the bridge. It looks like they're going to spawn up early so they can wait for their spitter and make the survivors really think about what they're going to do. And it looks like the survivors will sit here and take the fort. They're going to let that spitter spawn up, so we do have a Hunter, Charger, Spitter, and Jockey for this bridge. It's going to be a devastating setup. Survivors pushing under the bridge slowly, trying to clear out all the commons so they don't get common locked on their way back. Jockey and Hunter are already spawned up. Here comes the attack. The Hunter's going to come from the back. Jockey's coming from the back. Charger drops off the front, and he's going to try to walk his way all the way, and he's going to charge and Naps hit absolutely nothing. Smith's just going to go in on nothing to hit. But that tank is up in the hands of Q Motion, and he's going to move up all the way for getting the car. He's just going to go ahead and push. Oh, actually, he already hit the car. It's on the street.
I'm almost surprised. I guess the survivors made the right move, but I was kind of expecting them to run back right there. But they did make the right call when moving forward.
Nice hit. That car is in perfect position. Tank's going to push up. Hunter and Boomer are ready to spawn. Smoker's ready to spawn as well. That Hunter spawned up in the... Tank is focusing that car, and it looks like he's just kind of playing backup for his SI right now. He's already at half health. That car's going to get in. The Smoker's going to land. Hunter's going in for the intercept. Oh,
what?
It doesn't get...
Saw that tank like teleport on top of the car.
Focusing car. Nick is at half health.
Whoa.
And it looks like the survivors are pushing him. What a laser hit there. And push up. They know that tank is up there. They're just going to open area where they can take the spawns, and the tank is focused on him. He's trying to get some chip on him. 25% health for this tank.
Car's pretty much done. It's in a really bad spot, and he doesn't have enough health to go for it. They're going for a hit to get him a rock. Charger misses. Smoker landing on Nick. Jockey with the intercept on Rochelle. HR goes and clears him after a decent amount of damage going in. Tank's still up on the bridge playing rock. I think the survivors should just push forward here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go ahead and do that. Nick's got a shotgun up there in front. He is already bleeding. He's only got about 20% permanent health left over. Not a lot of damage coming from either of these tanks, but Beer Belly's doing a really good job of getting that SI in and actually hitting and getting some damage off. It looks like the tank is going to push in. He's going to try to throw a rock. That Hunter's going to come in from the bottom. He's going to land on Nick. Tank's going to go down. Spit goes in on Pounce. That is going to do some damage. Charger's going to punch. Nick drop down. Great damage there. Same person. So Nick got hit again. No more health bonus actually going off there. They're still at a 508 health bonus, which isn't bad at all. What do you think about that tank, Dawkins?
I think the tank focused the car again too much. I think if you would have, they almost had that 2-cap in the back. I think with that pole, if the tank just would have pushed in instead of trying to hit the car on him, I think they could have got a lot more damage on those back two instead of just Nick.
Attack is going in while Dawkins talks. So there's a nice double charge there in the room. He gets through really quick. The Hunter got dead stopped and melee killed. One boomed. He's going to get popped on again. But only one boom. It's still Nick. Rochelle's down to half health now, and it looks like we're going to have another pause, this time by Beer Bellies. 3 pauses already in map 1.
Yeah, I think if they can manage to keep the solid health where it is, this can still be a really close game, but if they can lower Nick or Coach to, say, like an in-cap, I don't know. It's really not going to be over regardless of what happens on this map. It's just you're trying to make it as close as possible so that map 1 doesn't cost the game, which it usually doesn't. Unless they wipe here, then that'd be not very good because they did get 1,000 points.
Difference here right now, Beer Bellies hit sooner than High Skill did at this choke point. It looks like almost all of the spawns will be up for Beer Belly, minus their drop. Beer Belly's AM staff actually disconnected, so he'll be rejoining here in a sec. Or actually, he just lost connection, so I guess they're ready to go. But they will be down a spawn, but everything else will be up. So we'll see if they hit down on the hill drop, which the survivors will most likely push one survivor boom to the back.
That one guy who disconnected actually did lose his spawn, and I don't even see him in the game. Actually, they have 3 people on their team right now. So taking the drop. They still have 3 people. There he is. Their 4th just now loading in, so they did lose that choke. That actually kind of sucks. So now it's all up to the hill hit again.
We do have a Smoker, Jockey, Spitter, and that last spawn isn't up yet because he just loaded in. The survivors are going to try to rush that hill. Everyone has to spawn in early. Here comes the attack. Smoker is going to get a pull on Coach. He's not going to get cleared for a second. That Jockey comes in for a last-minute intercept. That Charger's running in, trying to get a charge on somebody, trying to get that charge. He's just going to run back and then get cleared. A little bit of indecision there by that Charger. He didn't know whether to charge down the hill to get the end cap or to stay up and get the one guy that was still up on top. and that little indecision cost him is about 3 Uzis focus fired and down. Survivors will get in with a 468 health bonus to Beer Belly's 656 health bonus.
So they did keep the game close, so that's pretty much what you want out of map 1. If the team gets 1,000 points like they did there, your goal is pretty much just make it close, and that's what they did, so they should be not too disappointed. They're still in the game. So it's about a, like a 200 point spread, just under. Going into map 2, Beer Bellies will start on Survivor first.
Yeah, not even a big spread at all. I mean, this game is really close.
It's anybody's game, which it usually is after map 1. Unless one team wipes at tank, of course. Then it's not even that big of a difference.
For those of you who may be just joining, we're streaming the Ukrgame Rage Cup, Beer Bellies versus High Skill. This is the semifinal match. Both teams did play in the frag pipe, and I think Beer Bellies was 3rd place and High Skill was 4th place. So we are casting a really good match right now. This cast is being simulcasted in French and Russian, both at LeftForDead2TV.net and Rage TV. Again, I've never heard of Rage TV before, but I don't speak Russian and don't watch Russian casts. So, and this cast that we're doing right now is subtitled in Spanish. So, if you would like subtitles in Spanish, just click the bottom of your screen and wait for it to come up. Dawkins is my co-caster. I'm Rorek. Dawkins just asked me to whisper if this cast is really subtitled in Spanish. It's not. The attack is coming in. The boom's gonna land on the Charger's gonna get killed. Nice focus fire there on that Charger. Boomer's still up, getting scratches. That Smoker's gonna get a pull on Rochelle. Great quad boom. 31 damage, actually 32 damage going out, and even more from Common. They're not doing a very good job of clearing this out, but they finally get free and they're gonna make their way forward.
Alice getting hoarded in the back. That's a pretty good amount of damage for that opening hit without the spitter, I'd say.
And the tank is up. He's going to stand out in the open and throw a rock. He's going to take a lot of that rock is heated by the Uzi.
Yeah, he wanted to block him from getting a char. I think they were kind of relying on that boom to land, which it didn't. Now the Charger missed too. This tank's in trouble.
Wow.
He does have Ellis separated in the front though. Let's see if he can get this thing capped and maybe back out. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No, those Uzis are going to focus fire, and they are going to grab the HR, so he's got nowhere to go. He's already below 25% health in the red. He's sitting at 1,245 health. And only 2 punches there on Ellis. They're going to pass him pills, and actually they found another set of pills there at the game. So it looks like they're just probably going to play Rock Tank with his tank. Actually, they're going to push him back and go for hittable.
I do understand where he was going with. He tried to stop him from getting HR, and he did do that. They stopped. I think if that boom would have landed, that could have been a lot better, but I think they kind of panicked after the boom didn't land, and I don't know, the tank kind of got stuck in there by himself, and they tried to play it aggressive, but it didn't work at this point in time.
Tank did pass over to Hannibal. He's now at 397 health. So just, I mean, 3 or 4 more shots from that HR, and he's going to go down. But it looks like they will send the tank AI. Not much damage coming from that tank. The SI support really didn't hit with that first attack, which is what they needed. And if that boom had landed, it would have been a completely different story, most likely a wipe. But great job there by Beer Bellies to shut that attack down and then rip into that tank, leaving him with only 300 health. And he's down. The attack's going to come in from behind. Charger's going to miss. Jockey's going to get the guy in the back. Hunter's going to take the jockey. He's going to get a little bit more damage before getting cleared by the team. All of it's going on the non-health bonus, so Ellis, who got punched by the tank. So regardless of damage, it's still going on a non-health bonus.
They had that pounce in the back on Coach. That pounce jockey. Then pounce, and then the jockey was scratched, and they did a decent amount of damage, and then Rochelle just took a little bit of damage. I don't know how.
Tongue's going to get cleared, and looks like he's going to run back. Just a delay for spawns, probably.
What's their force spawn? I see Smoker, Jockey. Oh, they do have a good setup then for the top. Yep. So they can definitely do damage with this. The only concern is that they're most likely going to send Ellis up and he is not health bonus. Well, he has a little bit, but that's not who you really want to hit. So let's see how they try to play this out infected.
Pre-spawns coming up on top. The usual strategy for this map. It looks like HR has jumped up on top of the light pole, trying to pick the infected from up there. He only stays up there for about half a second before coming down, and the survivors are setting up below, trying to decide what they want to do. That Smoker's going to come early. He pulls on Nick and wastes his time. Survivors are just going to go ahead and sit here. Jockey grabs on Ellis. He's going to get cleared really quickly. The charge is going to land. Does it get off? Yes, he does. Nice charge there on Q motion. It's going to go off, and that might be an end cap.
That charge has the smallest hint of red health ever. You could you could give him a pat on the back and he'd die when he got that charge off. But that was really well done, getting that charge off. It was on Ellis, but they managed to hit Rochelle a little bit in that hit as well. And I'd still be happy with that in cap. They're gonna have to split right now. Coach is going back to pick Ellis up, and Rochelle and the HR staying up top. Looks like they want to go for a 2 cap. Getting shut down. Nothing.
An entire team shut down there by Rochelle and who was that? Nick.
That's not the hunter. That's not the jockey. You push the smoker off, and there's just nothing you could do.
And refuse. Those were the survivors there by shutting down the attack up on top. Survivors will regroup now. Spawns are coming up, so they'll have spawns for the attack down below. Boomer, Jockey, Charger, and Smoker for the setup. A really good setup for this this hit right here. And the Witch has spawned up. The Witch is actually just on the other side of the grate, just as he would drop. So it looks like that HR is going to headshot her through the grate as they clear common to be able to headshot her. HR headshotting it right now. We should see the attack coming in anytime. Here comes the smoke. Smoker's going to focus on Rochelle, getting the pull. The jockey's going to land on Coach. Good jockey there. Charger's going to spawn up on top. But that witch is already dead. And the attack is shut down, and survivors will move forward. Charger's still up, but only with like 24% health.
Yeah, Beer Belly is doing a really good job of popping these boomers. Pretty much every attack you see the boom jump around a corner, but it's just getting popped immediately. So that's something I noticed that they're doing really well. It's helping them shut down these attacks. Another boomer getting popped.
Wow, just like Charger's going to come in. This is going to be an easy level, but he's going to miss the charge completely. Spitter's going to come in for some separation. Hunter's going to come in from the top. He's going to land on Ellis for about half a second. Going to get cleared by Rochelle. There's the melee kill. And the survivors will push forward. They need to pass those 2 sets of pills that they have to their red, and it looks like they're both going to go ahead and do that. Fast enough, they may be able to make a spawn coming up in 5 seconds, so we'll see what happens here. They do have a pipe bomb. It looks like Ellis has it cocked. Here comes the pipe bomb back there to clear the horse. Smoker's going to spawn up behind. He's going to get a pull. Jockey's going to get a nice pounce forward and a scratch. Charger's going to spawn up. Get to land on Ellis. That's a health bonus there. Actually, no, it's not. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just like that Spanish subtitle joke that I fooled you on, Dawkins.
I would have liked to watch that. Anyway, they do make it to the safe room with a 328 health bonus, which is pretty good. I've seen better, I've seen worse. It's I'd say it's on the high end though. It's pretty decent health bonus. Should be happy with that. But they can beat it.
You know, overall, the damage was great coming in from high skill, but it just all kept coming in on Ellis, it seemed. They got a lot of damage, they got a decent amount of damage from the tank, and they got a lot of damage and an end cap off of that charge off the roof. But, again, all on Ellis, and just not enough on Nick and Coach.
Maybe on the new scoring system it would have been better. I don't know. So, the same hit is coming out, the insta-hit. They do not open the door yet, and the boomer has spawned. This isn't looking good. They're trying to pop it through the floor. Yeah. They're all spawned except the smoker. All 3 infected on the roof are spawned. They're not managing to hit any of them, though. What?
Sneaky boomer is sneaky.
I don't know if you saw that jockey jump like a million feet in the air. That was cool looking.
Oh
yep,
my
they're
god,
still just trying to pick them.
Look at that.
That boomer's doing. Aww.
Boomer's gonna go and he's gonna miss. Jockey's gonna go in and jump back up on top of the roof. So the Boomer did waste his boom. Hopefully he doesn't stumble that Charger who's gonna want to land his Charger now. Nice proc. Wow. Goes in. Jockey's gonna land. Charger's gonna land. Smoker's gonna land. Almost a tri-cap there. That Charger's gonna get some massive damage. Wow, what an attack out of almost nothing.
Yeah, they really got baited with those spawns, but the survivors couldn't pick any of them from the roof. And they all just kind of walked into that proxy boom and just shot it on their forehead.
And here's the push forward. Beer Belly, Q motion in hands of the tank. He's going to go for the hittable. It looks like he's not going to try to stop him from getting the HR like High Skill did. He's just going to go ahead and just go straight for those hittables instead. He's got both hittables in play now. That forklift is all the way out in Timbuktu, but he's going to go after it anyway.
Timbuktu. He actually didn't take any chip on the run across there, so he's still at 100% health.
Nice.
Looking really good.
That forklift is behind the game sign, behind the peanut gallery sign, so it's going to be really hard to... That trash can or that garbage can is actually all the way on the far right side too, so both hittables now not in very key positions. Tank is at 10% rage. It looks like he is going to pass behind those tents, but he's still at 5,240 health, so not a lot of chip there, Dawkins.
I'd say it's a pretty decent amount. 87% is pretty... I mean, they could have got more, but it's not a bad amount of chip. He's pushing in now.
They do have that trash can. Here comes the SI support. Tank is going to focus that gas can. That charge is going to miss his charge. Nice hit there. Oh, it does land on Coach. Great hit. The attack is clear. That Charger is the only one up, and it looks like that tank is going to choose to kill Nag for high skill. He's at 25% health. Not much else this tank is going to be able to do, and actually he gets stuck on the garbage can. So that tank is dead, but not before killing off a survivor.
Yeah, you got Coach. I think he was shooting at the Charger or something. He just kind of stood there, and the dumpster kind of just ran into him. I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, he caught the dumpster. And the tank kind of lucked out because the dumpster just kind of plopped right in front of him. And he could just bank it off the wall a few times, and he died. He had no problem killing him.
Boom's coming in not far enough out. He's going to get popped. No other support ready to come in yet, but it looks like they will try for the tri-cap outside. That Hunter spawned up on top. Jockey's going to go in. He's going to try to bunny hop in. Hunter's going to land on Nick. Everyone's landing. Nice job on that Charger. He's going to intercept. Oh, nice rebounds there by the Hunter. That's a double cap there for some really good damage on Rochelle and Ellis, I believe.
The Hunter did die last. But they made it through one hit. They just gotta make it through some more. Survivors, whenever I have 3 people, I just think of it as like a hit-by-hit thing. You just gotta make it through each hit one at a time. And make as much distance as you can in between. Because every hit is a potential to wipe. Except for 2 caps. Well, even 2 caps, really. But yeah, you just gotta make it through every hit one at a time.
The survivors are going to set up on top. They've got a Hunter, Smoker, Charger, and Boomer. It looks like they will go in right now. That pull's going to land on Nick in the fire. The Spit's going to go in. He's going to block it. And so Nick is just sitting in fire right now, taking common damage as well. He's going to pop his build. He's going to try to save that pipe bomb for the event should the survivors make it that far. But what do you think for that attack, Dawkins? Why did Beer Bellies decide to send that in just for an extra hit?
He had a 2 cap and he saw the boom opportunity, I'm sure. I think if that Charger would have landed inside, it would have been a lot more devastating. But the Charger went for the charge and hit the door. But they did get the separation pole outside in the fire, and they had the charge spit, but the charge didn't land.
And here comes the attack. The Smoker's going to spawn up behind. He's going to pull Ellis. The Hunter's going to land on Rochelle. Only one survivor up. That's a tri-cap. Nice job there by Beer Bellies. What a tri-cap. That jockey coming in at the very last second to grab the HR who was, or actually the last Uzi who was too focused on clearing common.
Yeah, I don't know, they just got really separated there. Nick was still coming down the slide as Ellis was like pulled forward. And who was that? Rochelle was out in the green and Nick was still at the right at the bottom of the slide. So they just got really separated there, and you can't really do that with 3 people. You gotta make sure you're always on the same page.
Yeah. So we are going into map 3. Beer Bellies in the lead of high skill, 1,884 to 1,142. Still not that big of a lead. They can come back, especially in maps 3s and 4. We've seen a lot of big point comebacks in both of these maps. Where the tanks spawn.
Yeah, if you need to come back, it's definitely map 4 to come back on. Usually teams wipe around the same spot on this map, unless unless there's an early tank and one team wipes on it. This map spread on this map is usually pretty similar, unless one team just plays an amazing coaster and makes it. But usually both teams you see wipe around the same spot on the coaster. So map 4 is really your comeback map. This one you just try and make it. You just try not to lose any points on this map.
Infected trying to set up behind the survivors who are just kind of spread out, blocking all the spawns. We do have a jockey, hunter, charger, and spitter, so we can see a lot of damage coming out of this attack if one of those charger hunters lands that spit. Jockey's going to spawn up in front with the hunter. That hunter might get, he's going to land, that charger gets killed and misses his charge on the way forward. Spit's going to land on 2 people, or Ellis especially, for a second. 19 damage going out there, not a lot, but decent for this first attack when the survivors can sit there and bait it out.
Yeah, I think they went in a little bit early with that charge spit. I like to hit at the bottom of the ramp just because the survivors are in kind of a smaller area and it's easier to get a charge spit there. The charge got focused and couldn't finish this charge on that. And the spitter also died last, which means they won't have it for the tunnel, which is always never good.
Charger, hunter, boomer, and the last see, but that hunter is spawned up. He's going to get a wall kick from behind. He's going to get. Charger's going to come in from the. Everything's down right now. Smoker's going to pull back. Charger's going to get leveled by Rochelle. Nice level there. And everything's going to get cleared out. Nice job by Beer Belly to clear it out. Only maybe 4 more points of damage going in after the attack, and it looks like they'll take that room where they'll find the HR and melee and an extra set of pills.
Pop the boomer again. It's hard to land attacks when you can't get a boom to land. I think what Team High Skill, right?
Yep.
So the name Team High Skill really needs to stop sending their boomers first because they're just not landing. I think you need to send them in second or third, and like after a hunter or something is already distracting them. That way, they're not looking for the boomer like they are right now.
Well, they have a 2 cap, which is definitely not a bad thing for this drop down. If they can land that boom and maybe a pounce and spit, they can get a lot of damage on the drop through this hole. But they do have a boomer, spitter, jockey, and hunter.
Yeah, there's always a lot of horde down here. And it looks like a lot of it they can't even clear. They are dropping now. HR staying up top and killing the jockey and the spitter. Interesting.
Nice job, though. That entire attack pretty much stopped because he stayed up there. That hunter and boomer deciding not to go in. Their team getting cleared from the top. But a good job by the HR to clear that attack and not get jockeyed.
I don't know if that was planned or not, or if he just saw the jockey and was like, oh, I can kill this, no problem. I almost think that I wouldn't want to do that ever, just for the risk. But it worked out for them.
Nice double charge there. The Smoker's going to pull back. Good job there. Pulling Coach. He's going to get a little bit of damage as all the horde comes in. They're finally going to get him cleared. Not before getting at least 10, 15 damage there on Coach. So we have Ellis sitting almost at 50% health. We've got Nick sitting at about 75% health, rather. And everyone else in good standing. Ollie now on Rochelle, and the tank has gone up on the other side of the coaster. He's going to get a lot of chip taken. No, actually not that much by that HR was on him, but I think he was a little bit common locked, didn't really get clear.
They're getting some good damage. He's almost lost 1,000 health so far already. Already at 84%. And he's going to have to take some more chip if he wants to move up when he pushes in and stuff. So he's pretty far out there.
Tank is still sitting on the coaster trying to keep Rage without throwing rocks to give away his position. It looks like he's going to push in, or at least push up to the next roof. The attack may come up. The jockey is spawned up in the back. They've got a jockey, hunter, and smoke. The molly did go in, but it missed as the tank climbed up on top of the next ladder. Tank does pass over. They did spawn up the smoker, so it is a bot smoker.
It's a double pass, and they did get a spitter and a boomer. Not the best setup here.
Boomer goes in and lands on Rochelle, so hopefully this tank is going to push in. He's not going to rock. He's going to get on Nick. Nice punch there on Nick. That was a long arm on my screen, really long.
That's pretty long, too.
He's still at about 25% health. He can still do a lot of damage with this horde rolling in. Nice punch there on Ellis. Another punch there on Ellis. Oh, hits him up on top of the dumpster.
This tank's got some long arms. On my
Tank
screen,
touched
those
the last
were
one.
some long arms.
Yeah, same here.
But, decent amount of damage. I'm actually surprised how much damage they took right there. The tank pushed in after his spawns were already dead. They did get one boomed, but that's pretty much all he had to work with. And he had 100 rage. I'm surprised he didn't sit out and wait for their spawns to come back up, but it worked out for him, I guess. I'm really surprised how much damage they took right there.
You know, you gotta attribute that to the tank really spreading the damage. I mean, even after he downed one, he went after another one who was still, high in health bonus, got him down, and even though he hit him up on that dumpster, he didn't try to mess around with rocks or try to down him up there. He just went for Coach and tried to spread that damage as much as he could.
Mm-hmm. It was a good tank, no doubts there, but I'm just, at the same time, I feel like the survivors could have played it better. I don't know what happened exactly, but I just feel like that's a lot of damage to be taken right there.
Nice proxy there on 2 survivors on the coaster. That smoker's already spawned up. It looks like he's going to get baited out. He's not going to get pulled off. Hunter's going to come in for the DP. He's going to overshoot his target. He's going to get dead stopped by Coach. He's going to get cleared by Coach. That smoker tongue is enough. The jockey's the only one who can stop. Jockey lands on Rochelle. He's going to get cleared. And 2 survivors now up on top of the coaster. They're going to focus fire that smoker so that he can't get that pull off.
He didn't have his tongue up right there, but he has it up now. He's going to go for it on Nick, but they cleared him.
So great job there by Beer Belly to basically kind of bait out that smoker tongue. I don't know whether he went early where either he thought Coach was going to push up or whether it was a bait. But went a little bit too early. The tongue gets cleared and everything gets cleared out by the survivor.
Jockey coming in getting shut down. Giving that charge to the spawn though. But they couldn't get anything worked with it. Boomer coming in getting a boom on Ellis, and Hunter's the last one yet to spawn in. Survivor's taking this coaster pretty well. They have 3 bleeding out, but they do have 3 sets of pills. And they still have Rochelle's health bonus to rely on. Let's hit that. Hunter's just going to wait for the next set of spawns.
All survivors now able to run that. Hunter's going to go for DP. Nice 25 there on Nick just after he took pills. But it looks like he didn't actually take that much damage from it.
Yeah, if you were going to land that 25, it really only matters if you land on a Rochelle. I don't know why this smoker is going in right here. It's actually really surprising. Oh, there's a witch, that's why. I did not see that.
Witch is going to get down by a Uzi fire.
Yeah, unfortunately, that didn't really work out. Yeah, they were going for the witch, but I almost would have want to save the smoker for the pull-off right here, because if you can get one off, that just opens up so many more opportunities to hit with infected. But it's up to the charger.
Oh! Charger going in alone and getting a miracle charge off on Coach. Coach just kind of jumps right into that. So good job there by the Charger to delay them for a little bit. They are going to turn off the event, but so as long as they clear out this residual horde, they'll be able to push forward and make it. But survivors are really split. That Hunter is waiting in the tunnel for one of the survivors to come up. It looks like Coach has boomed, and he may not know that Hunter's there. Hunter's going to wall kick off the top. He's going to land on Coach. They're going to clear him through the wall, maybe. Not in time. He's going to get down. HR is not focus firing on him right now. Where is he at?
He actually, HR dropped and is coming around to clear Coach, but it's too late because Coach is dead. So HR actually went around. I think he was trying to get that. I don't think he had a shot on Coach, and he went down to maybe get up the hill and get a shot on it, but it didn't really work. And now he's moving back around.
Still a little bit of horde coming in. It looks like Jockey Charger coming in from behind. Charger's going to land, but not get off. That Jockey's going to land as well. He's not going to get cleared. That hunting rifle is finally going to clear him up. And the smoker might get a pull off here. Oh, almost. He gets cleared just before getting the pull off. Nick almost going down as well, but Rochelle's still with 75% health.
Yeah, that pull, like I said, that charge off really opened up a lot of opportunities, and they killed Coach with it, but they didn't really hit Rochelle. But the health bonus won't be super high, but I think making this map at all is a good thing. Good thing to be happy about.
Boomer goes in from the side here, doesn't land the boom at all, tries to get that arc up, but physics not working with him. That Jockey gets dead stopped, but he gets scratched by the common. I think it's going to be a charge on Ellis. Two survivors almost down. Rochelle is going to come out of the safe room to pick up her partner there, and they're going to get in with a 150 health bonus right now. 159 now after they picked up the survivor.
Happy New Year.
So not bad at all. They made it, and they made it with a little bit of a health bonus as well.
Yeah, it's definitely something Sorry, I yawned. Be happy about.
To be,
I started yawning. I didn't want to do that on the mic.
If you'd like to give some shout-outs, I am in the Left4Dead2TV.net live chat, so go ahead and say shout-outs and we'll say them, or add Dawkins or myself, Rorek, and we will give shout-outs for you guys during the map changes.
I actually do have a quick shout-out from Push Pop to Nate for being the best boomer pooper in the world. I don't know if he meant popper or if he said pooper on purpose, but I'm just reading it the way I see it. Shout out to you, Dawkins, because you're hot.
Dawkins is same setup here for the Infect. We've got Beer Bellies playing Infect now against High Skill, who are the survivors. We've got a Boomer, Spitter, Hunter, and Charger set up for this ramp. We'll see if they decide to go in a little bit later, and it looks like they will, and a little bit different spawn rotation, or a spawn setup here. They've got the Jockey set up from behind along with the Hunter, and they've got the Charger Spitter up front. And by Jockey, I mean Boomer. It looks like a Jockey. It is a Jockey. Who's the Boomer? There is no Boomer.
There's
That's
no
Goliath.
Boomer. You silly. Oh, you need Goliath to respect. Anyway, Survivor's pushing out. I don't know if they're going to save for the tunnels. Looks like they want to hit. Looks like they're going to hit right now. Jockey and Hunter coming from behind. Charger, Spitter coming from the front. The Charger and Spitter actually didn't even get their spawns until the Hunter and Jockey were already dead. Interesting strategy to make them push back into that room, but it didn't work out right there. The Survivors shut down the 2 supporting spawns for the Charge Spit could get in there, and that was easily focused.
And they're pushing hard.
It looks like they're gonna make it to this maintenance room before spawns are out. If they keep going, looks like they stopped in the side rooms and waited for them to get spawns. So they are actually gonna have to take this hit, but they're on that side closet where the tunnels lead out. Looks like they found a melee weapon for Nick. Smoker spawning up in the back, getting cleared immediately. Hunter getting dead stopped, and Jockey just getting mowed down. Spit not having anything to spit on. A total of 4 damage so far after 2 attacks. So Team High Skill really stepping up their Survivor game so far. They're gonna need it for these last 2 matches if they want to win. So see if they can keep it up. Looks like they're gonna take this room. Coach grabbing HR. Moving up to the hole. Did Rorek crash or something?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
They are going to go ahead and drop. Coach is going to drop down. Everyone's dropped down now. It looks like the attack's going to come from above. The Charge is going to drop in. He's going to charge there on Nick. That Smoker's tongue's going to get broken by the Charger, but it looks like they're going to pull on Ellis for half a second. Only 4 damage going in after the attack.
That was not even from that attack. They already had 4 damage. There we go, 6 now. Boomer's getting a little more damage.
10.
Yeah, they pulled Nick and then charged him, so no damage going in on Nick. And yeah, just not a lot of damage, not really any. They have what? 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 damage.
That tank is now spawned up in the hands of Amstack. We can't go to War Room because we don't have them. And if you're watching the English cast, you probably couldn't understand it anyway. Unless you speak Spanish, because this is subtitled in Spanish.
No, it's not. Liar. So Tank actually managed to push up pretty far without taking a lot of chip. So now he's backing up again though, trying to keep some rage. Boom actually did go in. They piped it out though. The HR is the one boomed. They have a Jockey and a Hunter, I believe that is. They're waiting for that 4th spawn before they're going to push this in. They do get the Charger. I think the Tank's going to try and push in right now. He might have to pass it. It is going to pass.
Oh, he
and they lost
that. And it passes it.
Yeah, and they lost that 4th spawn, so they lost the Charger. He has his timer.
Rochelle jumps up on top of the roof. Can she do that?
I don't know if that's legal or not. Well, it really didn't make that much of a difference, though.
I mean, well, yeah, but she's kind of blocking that tank from getting up there. They're all getting up there.
Either way, they got the Charger, and now he's pushing in.
He's
And
gonna
Tanks
get lit.
gets that punch though on the molly.
He can't
Support
get
needs to go.
without climbing up on top of the ladder. Here comes the...
Almost a 2-cap on those guys. Tanks can get the sync cap on Nick. Looks like one more punch might not get it. Oh, missed the point blank. Or he died. Either one. But they do get the 1 in cap on Nick, but the survivors took that pretty well. I have no knowledge if that spot is illegal or not, so I will not say anything. But yeah, I've never really seen people get up there very much. So yeah, they did get the 1 in cap, and they found more sets of pills, so that in cap, the bleeding guy's pretty much at 100 HP, bleeding out. And Coach also has a little bit of temp health on top of his around 65 solid. Nick's gonna push up here.
Jockey's gonna spawn up on top, Smoker's gonna spawn on the bottom. Looks like that Jockey's gonna bunny hop it. He's gonna get meleeed and melee killed by Nick, who is up there just clearing Common. Nice boom there below on 2 survivors. They're gonna push it. Smoker's gonna get the pull on Coach, but that's Common's gonna block it, and that Smoker's gonna get cleared.
I think Coach actually broke his tongue with the melee weapon. It was really nicely done. He has a crowbar. You can do it with a crowbar. That's pretty nice. And then he picked him with HR. Well done.
And then four pills still. I mean, they've got a lot of health bonus going to this. 756 health bonus right now. Survivor's gonna drop down. They do have a Jockey, Spitter, Hunter, and what's that last one? Smoker back there for the Witch. So that Witch is just sitting up here on top of the coaster as soon as they come up.
Looks like they want to just give him the Witch. I think they need this. Hunter might go in with this, but it looks like they're saving the Jockey and the Smoker for the pull off, which they really need to. Oh, never mind. The Jockey's going in, and the Witch is dead. So I think the Jockey just back out, which he is. And they're gonna save for this this pull off. They need to pull off a health bonus right here. If they don't get anyone off on this hit, then they're gonna be in trouble. Spit going in for the delay, and it's just the Smoker and the Jockey up right now, hoping for a charger.
Yeah, that smoke is key right now to stop the survivors from moving forward. It looks like Ellis is going to bunny hop down, and he's going to melee the Jockey. He's going to get cleared. Smoker's going to land on Ellis, and he is going to get that pull off. That boom is on Coach right now. So it looks like Ellis is going to have a free run up here unless the Hunter can stop him up here in the tunnel.
They boomed HR, which led to that pull-off being able to happen. Looks like they're going to try and wall-kick Ellis, but HR looks like he has the angle. He can clear him. No problem. And they have 2 more spawns coming up right now. Spitter and a Jockey. I don't think they're going to be able to set up, though, for this takeoff. Spit's trying to delay up on the bridge. They do Jockey Ellis off. What a Jockey.
Wow, what a Jockey.
At the last second. So Ellis losing more of his health bonus and is going to have to go around again. Right now their health bonus is at 656, which is really high for this map. Wow. Charger going in for some punches on Ellis. And Smoker died.
Attack going in there, all getting cleared out. And it looks like they're not going to get anything but this spit delay up here. And that spit is going to separate them up a little bit. Ellis is going to take a little bit of damage to jump up on the rail. Coach is separated by spit, but nothing else is ready to come up beside that Jockey. Looks like it's just going to be a last-minute ditch effort to get any kind of damage they can. They do have a charger, so they can delay. They're not going to be able to. That's a 524 health bonus on this map. Don't see that a lot, but with basically no damage coming in from that tank after getting... There's not much the infected could do after they got cleared on the coaster for the first run-up.
Yeah, it's a really high health bonus. They shot the lead down to about just under 400 points. So it's definitely going to come down to map 4, which is the final map, I assume. It's the Euro Cup.
Euro Cup, so no finale.
And, yeah, they're going to need to play really... Honestly, this map really comes down to the tank, because it's hard to get huge attacks on this map. You can definitely do damage with them, but none that are, like, devastating, usually. Unless you land something ridiculous. But, yeah, it's hard to land huge attacks on this map, so it really comes down to the tank and how well you play the tank as infected. I have a few shoutouts before we start. Actually, just one. I have a shoutout from Nate. Shoutout to Aaron for being a fat black man.